Here's the Kadikawa Gumba. All right, hello everybody. So on the way to visit this famous temple, Kadikawa, while driving on this treacherous road on the way to Kadikawa, it's going to take about 3 hours to get there. So while we are driving on this treacherous road, about 10 to 13,000 feet above sea level. So I'm going to tell a story about this temple, the famous temple. So first it was about 700 years ago, and there's a woman, her name is Shangza Aji. So Shangza Aji had a son, and so his son later became a famous Tibetan Buddhist practitioner, and his name is Je Tsongkhapa. So Je Tsongkhapa actually also became the founder of the Gelugpa sect of Tibetan Buddhism. And Je Tsongkhapa was born in Amdo region, Tsongkha region, so Tsongkha Valley. He was born in Tsongkha Valley, that's why in Lhasa call him Tsongkhapa, so person from Tsongkha. And so he practiced Buddhism in Amdo region. Later in his younger age, so he moved to Lhasa. So there's a Lhasa start practicing Tibetan Buddhism during his lifetime. So he created the Gelugpa Tibetan Buddhist sect, which is strictly as a monastic lifestyle. Monks become monks dedicated to monastic practices, and so live in remote areas. And so they are celibacy, so they're not getting married, but their whole life it's dedicated. I'm sure the monks have emotions, desires, but also refrain from getting married and dedicate themselves pure to Buddha's teaching. That's where Tsongkhapa, that's Tsongkhapa was a founder of the Gelugpa Monastery. So anyways, so then there's another merchant, it's a great famous merchant, his name is Norizambo. So Norizambo is a great famous merchant all over the Tibetan plateau around 700 years ago. So from Amdo region to Lhasa on the horseback probably takes about around 3 months to get to point 1 to point B from Amdo to Lhasa. So while Tsongkhapa was studying, teaching, reforming Tibetan Buddhism in Lhasa, so his mother, Shangza Aji, so she missed her son, which is Je Tsongkhapa. So one day, and so she actually saw that the merchant Norizambo, who's a business person. The businessman is getting ready to go to Lhasa. So then the Shangza Aji, the Je Tsongkhapa's mother, so much miss her son. Also, she's getting old, so she feel like she's gonna die very soon. Before her death, she's really love to see her son, who is fond of the Gelugpa Monastery. So he sent a message. In order to send a message to the merchant, the business person, Norizambo, so he cut some of her hair, which is turned white color. So she took some hair and put it in a little bag, and gave to the business person, Norizambo, ask him to take the hair to Tsongkhapa in Lhasa, give to him, ask him, tell him that his mother really miss him and want to see him, and before her death basically. So the merchant Norizambo so promised, and the Shanza Achi, who's the mother of the Tsongkhapa, so took the hair, and after months of travel, reached Lhasa and saw Tsongkhapa, and he was really busy studying Tibetan Buddhism, also reform Tibetan Buddhism as well at the same time. And then he just gave the white hair to him and told him what his mother told him, so miss him, return home to visit her before death. So, and then Tsongkhapa, and he really genuinely missed his mother as well. Beyond many years didn't see his mother, and saw the hair, and he was really emotional. Also, his mother, who was gave him birth. So then he put some thought through it, and he realized if he go back to Amdo to see his mother, then he gonna miss so much time, and then he gonna miss the opportunity to reform Tibetan Buddhism. So what he decided is this legend is 700 years ago, happened 700 years ago. So he used his blood from his nose blood and mixed other fermentations mixed together, and on a cloth painted himself on a cloth with his students, disciples around him. So it's so-called Tangkha, painted. So painting himself, and then give that to the business person no resemble, and told him, take this Tangkha, take this painting to his mother. Be sure to tell her this is who I painted personally, and hang this painting in her home. This painting will speak to her, will calling mother. Also, this painting will speak to her, have a conversation for 3 days and 3 nights. So this is kind of a theory about a story. And the business person, no resemble, he took the painting and promised Tsongkhapa that if he saved reached the Amdo region, be sure to hand the painting over to his mother. So after many months of travel, returned back to Amdo, and no resemble actually on the way to Amdo. Also no resemble, the business person also realized the notoriety of Tsongkhapa in Lhasa, and knows he has so much wisdom in Tibetan Buddhism. Also, he thought this painting must be very, very holy, precious, and sacred, so that it's amazing gift to Tsongkhapa's mother. So the businessman no resemble, what he did, he decided paint another one similar to this painting, and then he gave the fake painting to Tsongkhapa's mother, Shansa Haji, and he kept the actual painting painted by Tsongkhapa, kept it himself. So he thought he keep this painting, so may bring a lot of luck to his business, or enrich himself, or good blessings for his business or his family and his community. So after he gave the fake painting to the mother, told her, hang this painting in her house, this painting will speak, say hello, say mother also will speak 3 days and 3 nights. And then he took the real painting painted by Tsongkhapa to this monastery. Now we are about going to see. So you can see the road now. Right about now, we are about 13,000 above sea level, and we have this conversation about the story which happened 700 years ago. We have this conversation. So it's amazing, beautiful area. So now we are travel by car on this treasure road. So 700 years ago, this road probably by walking, or on the horseback, or on the yak back. So it's imagine that the travel. So this is how they travel a long time ago. So anyways, so no resemble the business person brought this painting to the Kadikawa Temple. Okay, we safely arrived at the Kadikawa Temple. So this is actually outskirts of Kadikawa. Used to be a high walls with mud-made walls. So it's like a city inside. So the legendary record in Tibetan historical books about the region of the name Kadikawa. So there's a great Lama called Gyalpo Chogyal Gyalpo, and he brought a statue of a Shakyamuni Buddha from Lhasa and brought down here, built this temple. So one day, and he saw a child's footprint in the snow, and so he followed the footprint and found a sandalwood tree. On the top of the tree, there was a crow singing, quack, 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 no? And its saliva flowed from his mouth like a wisp of money. I guess saliva comes down against the sunlight, so maybe the sparkling going on, so it looks like a twinkle money flowing down. And it looked like a hanging Buddha binder. So he thought it was a good omen. So he built a temple here and so named it Kadikawa Temple, which exactly means a crow mouth temple. So Kadikawa in Tibetan is Kadikawa. So translated in English means a crow mouth temple. So the temple is located, in a castle and it covers area about 10 acres of the land. It's a heyday, so there was 13 large and small halls and nearly 1,000 monks then. So the 700 years ago, we have about 1,000 monks in this temple. But today, maybe there's a few, only 5-6 of them. So it was destroyed by the war during the war period. So it's with China, with Mongolia. This is a border region in the history 700 years ago. So there's a Mongolias in the north, there's East Turkestan in the west. There's a China, Qing Dynasty in the east. So Tibet is on the Tibetan plateau. Those time is in a war time. So these areas always have conflict and so many wars going on around here. So in history, actually in Tibetan history, it recorded saying that third His Holiness Dalai Lama and visit this temple. Also, we have a 10th Panchen Lama also came here visit this temple and just reopen the temple after Cultural Revolution. So it became so because it's so holy. And in the Tibetan, they're saying, if you do not visit the Kadikawa Monastery, how you could be able to visit or pilgrimage to Lhasa, visit 3 temples. So in other words, say that this place is as a kind of sacred because they have relics of Je Tsongkhapa's painting, which in this temple. Because of that, also the Shakyamuni's statue hosts in this temple about 700 years ago. So which is pretty historical temple in this area. So many people all over, even Tibet or China. So there's so many worshippers of Buddhist monks, lamas, practitioners, or just travelers. They always come here to visit this temple and worship in the temple and pray in the temple. So it's just this temple is one of the monasteries that has some historical and a record of this region, this area. So you just imagine that you come here, see these statues and this painting. Actually, the painting still exists, and we witnessed, but the people who work in the temple did not allow us to film. Actually, I barely be filmed, but not allowed to film in this monastery. And so that's we just to be able to come here, travel treacherous road, and came here to see this temple, and we so much fun and had a great time in this temple. I did some meditations, prayers, worship. So to me, it's like this temple is a very legendary. Also, it's a very famous because one is something built in 700 years ago. This temple actually is built within a castle. So you see the high walls around the castle because those times, war era, so many conflict. So they do need high walls to protect from other tribes or other people invited into the temple. And also, it's amazing to have a painting done in 700 years ago. So based on the story, they painted by the Je Tsongkhapa's nose blood and mixed with other stuff to paint this wonderful painting, which still exists in this temple, never been destroyed. And so it's just and the name, it's just listen to this name. It says Kadikawa. It's a very interesting. Kadi means a crow, Kawa means a mouth. So someone might experience the event and just name this place Kadikawa, Crow Mouth Temple, which is a very, to me, it's very interesting, also very legendary. And also, they, according to the people in the monastery, they told me that I didn't see the lock. They're supposed to have a paddle lock in the front gate of the monastery, but I didn't see it. Maybe they show us, but there's a lock, which also is a 600-700-year-old lock, which is stored in the monastery. It's owned by the owner of the monastery 700 years ago, and still do exist in this temple. So just amazing to have this place. Anyways, this is a history lesson, but to me it's like a travel experience. Come to this beautiful temple, and right now it's a lot of rebuilt, and during the Cultural Revolution, and they destroyed so many things, but only painting of the Tsongkhapa's painting still left behind. And some of the temples, the house, the buildings also still exist, which is about 700 years old. And other than that, now it's rebuilt. It's a beautiful temples, beautiful stupas, and also the pilgrims and villagers and travelers, they all come here to worship, pray, do all the things people so much interested to do. So anyways, that's our travel of the day, which is we visit the very famous monastery called Kadikawa. So you remember, when you go to visit these areas, be sure to visit Kadikawa, Crow Mouth Temple or Crow Mouth Monastery. So this is in Amdo region. If you visit China, you'll be able to go with China. You'll be able to visit this place. So if you ask them, the Kadikawa, the people be able to understand where the Kadikawa is. Just such a beautiful, wonderful place. Thank you for watching.
Tsongkhapa 노르기 빠. tsongkhapa 팅디기 tsongkhapa 노르. 그래서 오늘